Oh yeah, let me tell you something, brother. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be a review of Batman versus Robin. So there's kind of going to be spoilers in this, and by which I mean there will be spoilers in this. So this is more of what I thought about it and things that happened in it. So Damian Wayne is someone I don't like. Okay, I've never been the biggest fan of Robin. That's fine. That's just my personal vendetta. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like Batman has his own philosophy, and he's always been pretty good at sticking with that philosophy. Apart from times when Joker's pushed the envelope a bit too far, and he's had some moral dilemmas. But I always feel like Robin was kind of an unnecessary character. And I know why he was created. He was created to appeal more to a younger audience. But for me, Batman appeals to a young audience. He's a hero. He appeals to an older audience. He's got moral integrity. I don't understand really why Robin ever needed to exist, unless it was more about Batman he can't get out of every situation by himself. He needed someone else. That's not saying I don't like the character completely. Like Dick Grayson, I love. He's probably my favourite Robin, if not, Tim Drake's close second. I think Dick Grayson is my favourite just because of Nightwing afterwards. But for me, Damian Wayne and Jason Todd have always been quite similar to me. And a lot of it is because I think Damian feels like he doesn't owe Bruce anything. Like, Bruce wasn't there for him growing up, so he's kind of got the League of Shadows mentality looming in the back of his head about justice is through murder. So he's always at one with himself. The same as Jason Todd, who he kind of wanted the violent approach to people, and he was, kind of loose cannon a little bit. And it was always fighting Batman's mantra. That's how I feel it is with Damian Wayne. But enough about that. In this film, you rarely see the relationship between Damian and Batman tested. Like a lot of this story, it feels like it is half and half of their own story, right? So it's Court of Owls, essentially, with some twists in. So it kind of takes the Batman and Robin relationship from the series, Batman and Robin, the comics, and takes quite a lot from the Court of Owls, but it twists it a little bit and tweaks it so it works within the confines of both of their narratives, right? So, let's start with the premise. So the premise is Robin goes off by himself. He creeps into this abandoned factory warehouse from shots. And there's children in there, and this doll maker, and he wants to make children young forever, so no one can hurt them if I make them into a doll. Oh, yeah! So he's just mentally challenged child. It reminds me a bit of The Birthday Boy, I think, from Long Halloween he was in, where he's kind of like mentally ill, or The Ventriloquist. And it's pretty much, Robin kind of wants to kill him, but Batman's always saying, it's justice, not vengeance. You can't, he just wants to do what the League of Shadows trained him to do for fucking years since he was a kid. It's Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul's philosophy, really. That was their way of going about things. And all of a sudden, he's living with Batman and he's got to toe the line of his rules, which is completely against his moral code of what he's been trained to do. Like, Damian sees justice different to Batman. Batman sees it as his parents were murdered. Killing someone will not bring them back. That's not justice. That's not the right thing to do. But then again, though, if that was the case, Batman could easily dress up like a police officer, become a cop, and arrest people. That would be justice. But he doesn't. He dresses up like a vigilante, but he's got different lines of what justice is to him, right? So essentially, Damian kind of questions the right thing to do, and you can see sometimes he wants to kill them, but at the same time, one part of him doesn't want to. And is it the part of him that's human, or is it it's Bruce's philosophy of justice, not vengeance? So he runs into the Talon. The Talon is the villain or the enforcer of the Court of Owls. And they pretty much send him to execute who they want. Usually it's rich, wealthy people trying to make Gotham better. And, he kills the dollmaker, and Batman thinks it's Damian that's done it. So it's kind of the whole he doesn't trust me, and Batman's, I can't believe he did that, and maybe I need to keep a tighter grip on him because he's going the same way as the League of Shadows. So that's kind of interesting seeing them argue. So a few more times, Robin runs into the Talon. The Talon kind of takes him under his wing and shows him a different way of doing things where it's okay to kill. But even then, you can still see Damien's got his reservations about it. But is that because it's too extreme? He wants to kill them, but seeing it in action, it's not the same. We don't know. So somewhere down the line, Bruce Wayne is abducted by the Court of Owls. It's different. Like the way things happen is different to how it happens in the comic, but a lot of it is quite similar. Like the same thing will happen just in a different way. So he finds them in a different way. Bruce kind of tries to find out more about them, track them. Meanwhile, the Talon has been hired by the Court of Owls. Damien knows nothing about this, and he's trying to pretty much take Robin for ransom to get to Batman. But Damien sees it as, this Talon's trying to give me freedom. He's trying to give me what I want. He's trying to give me the way I want to do things, which is not Batman's way, which is my way. And then Bruce has got the whole, the Court of Owls thing's going on. I'm trying to protect Damien. But every time he holds closer, Damien escapes. And then Alfred thinks if I give Damien more freedom, he'll see how extreme his thinking is and he'll come back because he thinks he's trusted, which doesn't work. So in the end, it ends up with a massive climax with, aspects of the Court of Owls comic graphic, the trade back where, Batman's kind of in a maze, he sees all these hallucinations, they figure out the way to beat the owls, and there's this epic super armoured Batman suit and things like that. So the finale is kind of mixed from Court of Owls, but it's a Court of Owls film, but not the way the Court of Owls. It's more Robin based, where the Court of Owls originally was kind of like, it was all Batman trying to find out his history, trying to find out his past, and it was him by himself, and that's what made it so amazing, because he was by himself. And Nightwing kind of played into it a bit, and a few others, but it was just Batman on this journey by himself. So that's what amazed me about it. I loved this story completely. I think it was amazing. Lately, some of the DC films have been hit and miss. Like Animal Instincts, I didn't really enjoy that. Batman and, Batman Son of Robin, I didn't like. Assault on Arkham, I quite enjoyed. I think that was okay for what it was. I quite enjoyed that because it was something that didn't focus on Batman so much. That's why I like the Gotham show, because it kind of shows you that the stories in Gotham, they don't have to revolve around Batman to be good. They can still, he can still be in the background, kind of, but not the main focus of things. That there's not just Batman fighting this fight, and that's what was interesting about Batman and versus Robin, because you kind of saw how Damien isn't a child. He is so much more than that. He's intelligent, he's articulate, he's kind of like a mix of all the other Robins. Like, he's got that tie to Batman that was really personal, kind of like Dick Grayson, so it was a personal one that was took out of not sympathy, but empathy. Because kind of like Batman knew what he was going through, knew what Dick Grayson was going through. Same with Damien, but he's like as athletic and as intelligent as Tim Drake, but he's got the mean streak of Jason Todd. So he's like all the aspects of the Robins put together, the strongest aspects. But excuse me, he's kind of like, he's got his own mind, just like Batman, and that's the problem. He's got his philosophy, and everyone knows Batman is stubborn as shit. And sometimes he fucks up and he has to sit back and go, okay, I wasn't thinking there, I let my emotions get the better of me. That was Damien. You saw that he could stand on his own. He had a fight with Nightwing, he held his own. He had a fight against Batman, he held his own because of, the way he is. And then when he got captured, he rescued himself. So he is Batman, he is Batman 2.0 Jr. It's just this mean streak of him that was, you really got to see him as a character by himself. And in some bits, he sounded like a spoiled brat kid, but then in others, he made an argument, and you're like, shit, he's right there. He's right. So, if you like Batman, The Court of Owls, if you don't really know what it is and you want a taste of it, and if you like Robin, this is really a good film for you. I'd give it, a 4 out of 5. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one.